Hello and welcome. This is a runner-up match for the wildcard pick. It was a really difficult decision between this Clemson match and the Fletcher match, which ended up winning. For the second week of the Grand Naval Battles, I am running a guide contest where you can get 200 diamonds for the best guide for each of the ship classes. And there's a 200 diamonds up for the best battle in a tier 5 or lower ship. Also, I would like to ask you guys to let me know if you would be interested in taking part in a destroyer duel during the weekend of the third week. I'm not entirely sure how I would hold it, but I would like to do it. But if there's no interest, then obviously there's no point, and it would be better to hold like a replay contest instead. Anyways, moving on to the match. Our hero in this match is Suppenkaschperl, and I will call him Suppen because I don't know how to pronounce his name. So anyways, he is in the tier 4 ship US destroyer, the Clemson, which is a really nice US destroyer in my opinion because she has double guns and she has 8 batteries, so she can bring a lot of firepower to bear. Anyways, he is heading towards the sea cap. This match is on the Solomon Islands, and there aren't that many. You know, he is the highest tier, and there are tier 3 enemies, so he isn't really at a big disadvantage. Capping is important for destroyer, so that's why he needs to do it. Anyways, because he was spotted, he sees a Kolberg who he tries torpedoing, and he immediately also uses smoke, and while he turns when he's slowing down. And the reason why he wants to turn this way is because he sees shells incoming from the other side, which means that he's gonna drop torpedoes in this direction as well, because often there are other ships that come from that area that are, you know, hindering the cap. The thing is that this is a surprising wildcard entry because it's tier 4, like. Tier 4s aren't that impressive usually, but this one is. Anyways, he starts shelling the Kolberg, who had lost some HP earlier. Because it's a US destroyer, it's really maneuverable. So it's possible to do all kinds of magical things with them. Unfortunately, the guns in these DDs aren't the best at long range, but then again, neither are the opponent's guns. Okay, because torpedo reloads are really low at this tier, I think these are more to do with random torpedoes, like they aren't meant to be on a specific target because they wouldn't reach anything anyway. The main thing that the Clemson has is her guns, because she can bring 6 guns to bear on a target. In a destroyer, that's a lot, especially with really low cooldown on these. And the thing is that since he has torpedoes on both sides, you can keep torpedoing on both sides all the time, although they don't have the best range. Anyways, this is Kuma. So, and because the torpedoes have such a short cooldown, it just makes sense to try to torpedo again. And those torpedoes narrowly passed in front of the Tenryu, which is rather unfortunate for our hero. Also, this zooming in and out for some reason is making my head hurt a little bit. Because he has torpedoes ready on the other side and the Tenryu is essentially standing still, it's time to torpedo. He predicts that the Tenryu will start going backwards, which is a bit weird because if I were in the Tenryu I would already start accelerating ahead. But regardless, it seems the Tenryu didn't, so she's probably gonna eat those torpedoes. Then again, I mean, she is a tier 3 player, so maybe she's just new to the game. Okay, luckily for Suppen, Kuma did not focus on him, so he can now freely go back on hitting the Kuma, who is a pretty decent cruiser at fighting DDs. But, I mean, because the Kuma is not focusing on Suppen, then it's just not gonna work. Although I think that Wyoming just shot Suppen. Okay, and that Kuma is dead. Fortunately, somebody else took the kill. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. The one downside of the Clemson is that she doesn't really have all that much range. But this Isokaze here is a prime target for the Clemson. It would be a great idea for him to cap C because their team doesn't have any caps and the enemy has B and C. Unfortunately, the friendly Kawachi is ruining the plans a little bit. He's keeping the Clemson spotted, but the bigger threat that Suppen can deal with is probably the Isokaze. I mean, if he just slows down here and smokes, then I think it would be good enough to shell the Isokaze. The Isokaze ran aground, so she is a rather easy target at the moment. Suppen seems to decide to not use smoke, which is a bit weird in my opinion, because you are capping a base and you just rely on not getting hit. What? I mean, right now you just got decapped a tiny bit. Oh well, whatever. Okay, now he uses smoke. This Isokaze should be history. Excellent, he got the kill. And this Wyoming is close enough now to be torpedoed, which he does. And because he is inside smoke, it's okay. He should be able to get the cap. Oh my god! That Kawachi. Wow. Very good shot by the Kawachi. I'm not even sure if the Kawachi actually knew, had him locked, or whether that was just a blind shot. But Suppen's torpedoes hit Wyoming nicely, took half his HP off. The thing with torpedoes at this tier is that they don't really kill all that nicely, at least against battleships. They're still scary though, because they have like no cooldown, and that means there's a million of them. And his torpedoes on the Kawachi were successful and finished the Kawachi off, even got a devastating strike. And he got the full solo base cap. And this Wyoming seems to take another 3 torpedoes, I think. And this is another kill, and another... Wait, no, that wasn't actually a devastating strike, but he already has Kraken unleashed at the 7th minute in the game. Rather crazy for a Clemson anyway, but at this point all the enemies on this side of the map are dead, so it's time to move on towards the southwestern side of the map. I imagine his plan is to go through the B cap to take it. I mean, because most of his allies are are here near the C cap, it shouldn't be that... Well, he doesn't really know where the enemies are all that well. Wait, no, actually, if you add up all the enemies, he knows exactly where every single one of them are. But he already has Kraken unleashed, so let's see how much better this one gets. He's heading towards the B cap, full speed ahead. He knows there's a Clemson there, and all the other enemies are at A, fighting that one cruiser that he can't see because the render range of destroyers isn't good enough. Still though, so far it's been a really good match. He has 100,000 damage in a Clemson 9 minutes into the match. A really enviable result. I'm jealous as fuck. Not really jealous, because jealous means that you want to have it. Like, if I'm jealous over someone, over something, then I want to have that item, and I want to deprive you of it. If I'm envious, then it's okay if you have it, I just want another one. Okay, he was checking where the Clemson was. He was using the trick where you press M twice really quickly. This jumps up into the air and you might see a bit over the island. So that one gives you like a good orientation of where the ship is. A bit more accurate than what the map shows. Anyways, this Clemson is coming around, and Suppen gets his guns to bear on the Clemson now. So, kill the enemy Clemson already. It's high time. Okay. Wow, 32 HP left. Damn. This isn't how you kill secure, Suppen. Okay, excellent. Got another kill, 6 kills. And I think he's gonna get B as well, although it's going to be a shared cap. There's still 4 enemies left, and 2 of them are battleships, so might not be the easiest to get the kills of them. The Isokaze should be easy. Phoenix not so much, although actually Suppen doesn't have the most HP anymore, so maybe the Izakaze isn't an easy fight after all. But it seems he already got spotted by the Izakaze. Never mind, the Izakaze has even less HP, so Suppen immediately just starts shelling and uses smoke. I think it makes absolute sense to do so. And bye, Izakaze. Next target is the Phoenix, which also makes sense. And he's gonna drop torpedoes too, but that's just like insurance, more or less. I imagine the Phoenix is not going to get hit by those torpedoes. This Tenryu is probably gonna slide outside with the smoke, which should mean that the Phoenix should be visible. Thing is that the Phoenix could torpedo in return. Okay, this Phoenix is gonna eat the torpedo. Well, that's unfortunate for you, Phoenix. Although it's perfect for Suppen. Got Confederate from this. And let's see if we can finish the Phoenix off. No, it's not a really good idea to torpedo here. Use your guns! You can do 2000 damage salvos. And excellent. Dead Phoenix. And in this game they cannot rise from the dead. Or rise from the ashes, so sorry, not gonna work out too well for you. Now it's 2 battleships left, a Wyoming and a Myogi. And Suppen has 8 kills already. 8 kills. So, I think the priority is on the battleship that will be closer, which is the Wyoming. I think he should rely on torpedoes, but he does kinda need smokescreen for that. Otherwise, if he goes into torpedo, it'll work out, but then he just dies to secondaries or main guns or whatever. I guess he could use guns from far away. The thing with the torpedoes is that they don't have enough range to shoot from here. Actually, even the main guns don't have enough range to shoot from here. So he needs to get a lot closer regardless. The enemy team pretty much has lost at this point. They would have to pull a rabbit out of their hats. Although I guess a Wyoming and a Myogi are both almost full HP, so they might be able to contend with these 2 Wyomings. And I mean, it's a Tenryu, it might not be the most dangerous ship. Although I think the Tenryu is amazing. Mainly because she's so small and so low in the water that it's really difficult to hit. Anyways, he seems to want to get a bit closer to them than just shell from here. He can get closer now because he does have smoke up in a moment, so he could get closer, torpedo, and then smoke and just keep shelling. Especially because other ships are going to spot for him anyway. I do wonder what that guy is doing, like that Wyoming over there. I don't understand what he's doing. Anyways, back to the match. Suppen definitely got really close here. Probably to get close enough for torpedoing, which he does, because the Wyoming is slowly heading a bit closer. He can torpedo from here, and I guess it's time to just shell now. The Wyoming is really big compared to Suppen's Clemson. But because it's a US destroyer, it's possible to shell. Luckily, the Wyoming shot the friendly Wyoming instead of Suppen, because he could definitely die rather easily. And Suppen starts shelling the Myogi because this Wyoming is dead to the torpedoes most likely. Although I think he just shot a follow-up torpedo salvo just in case. Suppen finally decides to use smoke, although he's moving closer and closer, which I don't know if it's a good idea. Because this Myogi... Oh, the Myogi's guns are pointed like who knows where. Never mind, it might not even be that dangerous at the moment. Just a secondary, so it's not that big of a deal. Since it's the last enemy anyway, might as well torpedo. First salvo was on point, but the Myogi's guns still are not on target. Like, this Myogi did everything wrong in terms of turning his guns. But now he's gone. Well, well. Suppenkaschperl had an amazing game in this Clemson match. Like, this is really, really amazing. Mainly because he got 10 kills. I have only done that once. in this game before. That is, get 10 kills. So it's a really rare event because I have played like 5,000 matches, maybe even a bit more. So hats off from me. This is like a really rare result, especially because this is in a destroyer. That's the ship I would least expect to get 10 kills. So he got 451,000 credits in a tier 4 destroyer. 6,700 experience, mainly due to multipliers. He got Confederate, Kraken Unleashed, Devastating Strike, High Caliber. Although, shouldn't that be 2 Kraken Unleashed? Because, you know, it's 10 kills, not 5. Oh well. He did 162,000 damage in a tier 4 destroyer. This is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. 112 shell hits on target, 16 torpedoes, and this is a Clemson, a US destroyer. You know, the torpedoes aren't the longest range. Again, 10 kills, 9 fires, 1 solo full cap, and 1 shared cap. In the team panel, you see that he actually got 3,000 base experience. This was an actual contender for the highest experience, but of course, I mean, because the other results were like 4,000 experience, etc., then yeah, of course they won instead. But because the match was so amazing, because it's 10 kills, then I decided to put this into the runner-up, I mean the wildcard contest, and I really thought that this might actually win until I saw that Fletcher match, and I was like, nope. This Fletcher match with his aggressive plays, etc., I thought that one was a bit better. But I mean, if you look at it, he has 3,000 experience. You have to take the next 4 players on his team to actually get more experience in total. So it's a crazy, crazy result, especially because it's a tier 4 match. Because hitting other tier 4 ships gives you much less experience than hitting higher tier ships. If this were like a tier, I don't know, 8 game, then the experience gained would be so much higher for, you know, the same kinds of things he did. So I guess it depends on how you want to look at it. This is an incredible result. I don't think I have seen many low tier matches where a player has got 3,000 experience. This might actually be the highest one I've seen. By the way, I think this guy actually won another community contributors contest for this replay, so you don't have to be worried, guys. This is not going to win the week 2's tier 5 or lower contest. Anyways, in the detailed panel, you can see how the 162,000 damage was divided. It was almost. It's like watching the scoreboard of a torpedo destroyer, like a Japanese one, because 121,000 of the damage was just torpedoes. So it's rather impressive, but still, 10 kills. That's amazing. Especially because it's only a 15-minute match. Like, if his team was a bit worse, would he have got all 12 or something? Because, you know, he still had 5 minutes left to go, and he still had his 25% HP. But this was a really good match, and thank you very much, Suppen, for submitting it. And like I said, it was a really difficult decision to make a decision between this and the Fletcher match. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please subscribe, and thanks for watching.